Hey guys, what is going on? Abby here. Welcome back to the channel, back to another Destiny 2 video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the TWAB that was posted today on Bungie.net. I'll leave a link down below if you want to take a look at it yourself, but there was so much information in this TWAB. We're going to break it down here for you, and I'm going to point out a few of the most important things. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys a few tidbits of information from Luke Smith during the Twitch Weekly segment that just posted earlier today, but for now, let's jump into the TWAB. So first up, progression changes. So we know with the new expansion, we're going to get a new power cap. We already know that this is 1260 because of some of our weapons and armor that's being sunset at 1260, which is the end of next season. However, they did release in the TWAB that the soft cap is going to be 1200, so you can get up to 1200 using just blues and random gear that you find around the world. And then your hard cap is going to be 1250, meaning that you need powerful drops to get up to that 1250. And then the pinnacle cap is going to be 1260. So from 1250 to 1260, you have to do those pinnacle rewards in order to get higher level gear. However, for this season, they are also increasing everybody's armor and weapons up to 1050. So if you have some older pieces in your vault, they're going to be pushed up to 1050. And also all new players are going to be starting at 1050 as well, which is pretty crazy. So all you new guys that are going to be on Xbox Game Pass, or if you're just starting out with Beyond Light and you're going to be going through the New Light experience, you're going to be starting at 1050 as well. So you won't have that much of a power gap to get up to the higher levels or to play with your friends that have been playing Destiny for a while now. Next here, we've got a segment on the powerful reward changes. They're going to be allowing us to get powerful rewards from Strikes, Gambit, Crucible, and from seasonal drops all the way up to the hard cap of 1250. It'll be quicker to complete your powerful reward sources, so things like your 8 weekly bounties for your Vanguard powerful and your Gunsmith powerful. However, if you just want to play Crucible all day or the new Gambit mode all day, you can do that and still earn powerful gear up to 1250. So I think that this is going to make it really easy to get to that suggested level of 1230 for the raid on the 21st of November. I think it's going to be really easy to level up. I don't think that's going to be the barrier to entry anymore. I think that it's going to be pretty easy to get up to 1230. And then this section down here, tokens and collections. They're talking about our Destiny tokens that we turn in at the vendor, like Crucible tokens and Vanguard tokens for Zavala. It says, starting next season, gear received from collections and turning in tokens will have a lower power than in previous seasons. Gear earned through token purchases, like from Zavala and Shaxx, will be 20 power below your power level, and collection buybacks are going to be capped at 1050. So you're going to need to infuse up those exotics if you're pulling them from your collections and you're a higher level. And that gear earned through token purchases being 20 power below means that we're not going to have to rely on getting drops from +0 vendors in order to get our power level up, because many people have used that as a catch-up mechanic in the past. They see which vendors are dropping +0 power level gear and say it's like Asher Mir on IO, then you would go to IO, turn in a bunch of materials, and try to get the piece that you were missing, the piece of your gear that was a lot lower power level than the rest of your gear, and that would help bring up your average so that then you could go back to doing powerful rewards to keep pushing through that light level. But now that these are going to be 20 power level below, that is pretty much off the table. You don't have to worry about hoarding your materials as much. However, I wouldn't recommend just popping them all right now. I would wait until Beyond Light, because we're going to be getting that vendor refresh through the armor at least. I don't think they've mentioned anything about a vendor refresh on weapons, but I'm sure there'll be some new weapons we can pick up. And also you want to keep those destination materials for things like your exotic cipher that you're using, upgrade modules, and also at Spider. And speaking of destination materials, next up, they're talking about the destinations that are going into the vault on November 10th, talking about these materials. What's happening with these? Do we need to get rid of them, or what's going on? They said that there are currently no changes to these currencies in the season of the hunt. You'll be able to continue to spend them at vendors normally, so for those upgrade modules, and with Spider for his materials as well. However, starting in season 13, phase glass needles, alkane dust, Simulation Seed, and Seraphite will no longer be accepted by vendors. This means that you need to make sure you transfer those during the season of the hunt with Spider, Gunsmith, like I said. So my plan is hopefully Spider is selling those materials for something and then in turn selling the new Europa planet materials for something, so you can kind of do an exchange that way to get rid of your old materials. After Season of the Hunt, he's going to be selling them for a small Glimmer exchange, but you're going to get more value out of turning them in before Season of the Hunt is over. And then this paragraph really makes me sad, but they are going to be removing some items from our inventory at the end of Season of Arrivals this season, and they talk about the expired ramen coupon, which I'm very sad about. I've been holding on to that thing forever. But we've got this help article for the full list of items that will no longer be in your inventory. So you can go over, I've highlighted it, you can go over and check that out as well. All of the things that are going away that are going to go out of your consumable list. So most of those are more like collectibles, things that people have been holding on to for a while. So that shouldn't affect anything in terms of economy. So next up, they talk about bounties. Now, the common consensus in the community is to save bounties for the next season, for the next expansion, at least for the raid, for the season pass. You want to get as much XP into that as possible to help you with exotic quest, help you with XP, all that good stuff. It opens up a lot of armor that you can redeem from the season pass. However, they're kind of retweaking this a little bit. And they talk about weekly bounties. They want to basically replace weekly bounties like you get from Zavala and Shaxx and Drifter. And they want to replace them with a new mechanism to provide players with a set of non-expiring and account-scoped objectives each week that will grant lots of season rank. However, this is not coming until season 13. So we don't have to worry about this next season. For next season, they are increasing the amount of bright dust that we get from our season pass. So that is amazing. We're going to be getting, the free path is going to be getting 7,500 bright dust, and the season pass own path is getting 3,000. So 10,500 if you've got the own pass. Weekly bounties are now going down to 100 bright dust per instead of 200. So with these changes, they're hoping that this helps people that don't have multiple characters and you don't feel like you have to grind out every single weekly bounty on every single character if you don't want to. If, say, you only play PvP on your hunter and you don't really like doing PvP weekly quests on other characters like me, then you don't have to worry about doing that anymore unless you want the extra couple hundred bright dust. Next up, we are talking about Spider. Now, this may cause some controversy in the community, but Spider is actually going to be going through some changes starting November 10th in Beyond Light. There are two key changes happening. Spider is no longer selling legendary shards, which kind of sucks if you need some right off the bat. However, they're pretty easy to get by just playing the game, dismantling loot you don't want, and getting those legendary shards. In place of these legendary shards, he's going to be selling enhancement prisms. So this is going to be another way to get end game materials to level up your gear, to increase the energy of your gear and eventually masterwork it. In place of legendary shards, Spider is now going to be selling enhancement prisms. That is right, enhancement prisms. Now these are end game materials that you use to increase the energy of your armor up to the point at which you want to masterwork it. They are very highly valued, as it says, and currently you can only get them in trials and nightfalls. However, you're only going to be able to purchase 3 a week, and they are going to cost 400 legendary shards per prism, which is quite a bit of legendary shards. But if you're like me, you probably have a fair amount. So if you need one prism here or there, you can get it there, especially if you're not playing these nightfalls and trials and not doing a lot of the endgame activities. The second thing they're doing is they're taking a look at the enhancement cores. I know for me, it was super annoying having to sit there and hold the button to purchase the enhancement cores each time, especially when it gets up to the higher costs. So now, starting with Beyond Light, Spider's going to sell you 5 enhancement cores for a fixed price of 30 legendary shards each. And this does limit the number of cores you can get each day, but it's actually cheaper than if you were to purchase them one at a time, considering it would double every time you purchased. And the last thing in this section is about your sparrows and your ghost mods. So with the new ghost system, you can actually use whatever ghost you want and slot different mods on there for XP or tokens. And people wanted to know, can I have guiding light for the XP boost and speed demon to instantly summon my sparrow? And they said you don't need to anymore. They're just putting that intrinsically on every single sparrow going forward. All legendary and exotic sparrows are going to summon instantly for you, so you don't need that speed demon perk on your ghost. If you have any sparrows with the speed demon perk, you can pull more out of your collection and get different rolls if you want to, because the newly created sparrows are no longer going to roll with this perk. And then the last thing we've got in here to talk about is Eververse. The new bright engrams for Season of the Hunt are now going to contain all Eververse content from Season 1 to 3 seasons prior to the current season, excluding any special events like Festival of Lost and the Dawning. So here's an example for you. Season 12 bright engrams contain all content from Seasons 1 through 9. So get ready to get that experience, get those bright engrams, and get some nice cosmetics. Alright guys, that is basically it for this week's TWAB. If you want to go read the full thing yourself, I'm going to leave a link down below. But now let's talk about this interview with Luke Smith and the Twitch weekly cast that happened today. He mentioned a couple new things that we haven't heard yet, so I want to share those with you guys now. One of the questions was about the size of Beyond Light. People wanted to know, is this going to be bigger than Forsaken or what? What should we expect? And Luke actually said that it's not going to be as big as Forsaken, but bigger than Shadowkeep in the state that it was in last year. However, I feel like the new subclass layout with the aspects and fragments and all that stuff is going to add so much more diversity and playability to the game. I'm sure there will be some secrets to uncover because they told us so on the calendar. And with the Cosmodrome and the new light player experience and the Season of the Hunt, I think it will be a nice size for us to jump into. He was also asked about the darkness subclasses, if there were going to be more than one. There's been a lot of rumors circulating, and I even thought about this when I was going over the vid doc, but it does say darkness subclasses, plural, and Luke Smith did say it's the first of the darkness subclasses, but he didn't confirm that there would be additional ones released or when they would be released, but he did say, and I quote, the first of the darkness subclasses. So in my opinion, that feels like we're going to be getting more darkness subclasses. I feel like it probably won't happen until next year's expansion. We'll probably get one with each expansion, ending with the Lightfall expansion. And then the last thing that he mentioned that I think is of note and is amazing is that when Transmog comes out, they haven't released a date for that yet, but it's going to be sometime here in year 4, that you're going to be able to pull those armor pieces from your collections to transmog them. You don't have to worry about saving these in your vault, so don't worry about that. Clear out your vault. If you need help, you can watch my clean out your vault video, but don't worry about saving any items purely for fashion purposes. If it's in your collection, then you don't have to worry about it. That was a big meaty TWAB, guys, so thanks for sticking around. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to check me out live, I stream over at twitch.tv/AbbyHour if you want to hit that follow button over there. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.